Hi, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. I am Coach Sherry, and I wanted to talk about settling. In life, so many people settle in their personal and professional lives. They settle for things that make them mad, disgruntled, things that slow them down, even paralyze them, and they wonder what's going on. They're looking outward to everything else around them, but never looking in. And so today I wanted to just come on here and talk about settling and not settling anymore. People settle for the wedding and don't have the marriage. They settle for the child but aren't a parent. They settle for the client without being the owner. We are settling in so many areas, and it's time to put a stop to it. It's time to stop the bleeding for once and for all. It's more than putting a Band-Aid on it and trying to appease the situation. No, it's about handling it and making a change. That's the only way you're going to see what you want to see the outcome to be. So imagine a running back when they get tackled on the field, and in their minds, when they have that ball, they're just focused on one thing, and that is to get to the goal. So when they get tackled, no matter how many people are tackling them, now if they are a good running back, they're going to keep moving. They're going to keep trying to inch forward. Even if they're not moving forward, they're stretching as hard as they can to get forward a little bit just to get those yards in. And in life, we get tackled and we stop moving. We cannot give the people or things that tackled us that much power to say, you know what, you're going to stop right here and that's it. This is the end. No. If you know you still have some yards to go, if you know that you have not reached your goal, keep moving, keep stretching, keep thriving towards where you need to be. So I think of examples all the time that keep me motivated. And if you don't have examples to motivate you, then here's some from mine. So just thinking about my dad, he grew up as a sharecropper, did not finish high school, always wanted to own his own business, moved from the South to the North to have more opportunity, got married a woman that had the same goals as him. And together they did start small businesses, and they were just trying to see which one was going to stick. He got a job opportunity where he learned a trade, did exceptionally well. The owner years later was going to retire, and he and his wife saved money to purchase that business. He told the owner, listen, I'm in position. I would love to buy this business. The owner said, this area is not ready for a Black business owner. Now, mind you, this is in the mid-60s. So you think that he settled for that, to just remain as an employee or to maybe pivot into another industry and start all over? No, he thought about it. He figured it out, got a white partner, bought the business, and in a few years later, bought the business from his partner. Now, you might look at that like, man, but he almost had to buy the business twice. Unfortunately, as a person of color, especially someone that, was in the 60s, that's some of the challenges, some of the barriers that we had to deal with. But he didn't let it discourage him. He kept himself encouraged and still looked out for that goal and kept stretching and moving forward inch by inch, and ended up owning that business for 40 successful years. I look at my husband, played in the NFL for 10 years. He was a starter for 7 of those 10 years. And every season that he started, the beginning of that season, the coaches always brought in a first rounder to take his position. Now, a lot of people would have said, well, this guy is a first rounder. They spent a lot of money on him. I'm just going to lay down. No, he worked even that much harder with his craft, honing his skills, and always beat out that first rounder. Yes, that was, could be discouraging, and it was frustrating for sure, but he never let it stop him from moving towards his goal. Even for me, I was in a position where I knew I could do greater. I knew I should have been elevated. And the people that were around me, above me, were like, oh, you don't know enough about this, that, or the other. You're not ready. I knew I was. They didn't know my history. They didn't know my story. But I did not let that discourage me. I kept doing what I did to the best of my ability. And it was the people that I didn't see that saw me, that realized, you know what, we need to elevate her and bring her up. When it was time for me to move on, I asked the head of that other place, Well, what does this mean for me here? They thought about it and said, well, I guess that means you're going to be over this whole situation too. So if I would have just laid there and settled for what they wanted me to do, I probably would still be there and not in the position that I have right now. So don't settle. Do your best wherever you are. Understand that it's more than the party. It's the planning of it, and it's the cleanup and the debrief after it. It's always a time for you to hone your skills. Write it down. I say this all the time, and make it plain. So many people, they are settling because they have not made it plain exactly what it is that they want. I ask people all the time, how much do you want to make? What's the going rate in your industry, in your area? People don't know. They have these numbers rolling around in their head. I think they are afraid to put it down on paper. Maybe the number they're thinking about they feel is too great. I don't think any number is too great. Or they may think it's too small and it will put them in a box. But I say, no, put that number down, because that will be your first elevation. That's not that one and done number. It's just, what's that next number going to be for you? Write it down, make it plain. And as you are doing that, don't just toil and think about who's doing what around you or who's not allowing you to do what you want to do. No, you are continuously upskilling, reskilling yourself. You are fine-tuning how you do what you do in the midst of it all. And so many people just sit back and get paralyzed, and they just sit in their mind, they're complaining, they're mad. No, be glad and know that, wow, the fact that they are trying to hold me back, to me, means that they do see something special in you. And maybe they feel like, wow, you're going to overcome them. And so be it. That's on them. That's still not your problem. So don't sit back and just accept the settlement. No, keep going and do your best every day. You have to practice. I say this too. Practice every day. Practice each day like it is your one shot, because you never know who's watching. It's the people you don't see that's going to help you not settle. So do your best every day, because when you do get to that line to take that last winning shot, you will make it, because you will be playing how you've practiced. All right, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. Let me know what you think about settling. And are you settling? I hope not. And after this video, I hope you have encouragement and motivation to keep going and do your best, regardless of what the naysayers may be chatting about or how you may be feeling because of what someone did. No, keep going and do your best. All right. Thanks for tuning in. I am Coach Sherry.